Hello, wrestling fans. I'm Mud Puppet Joel, here once again with Mud Puppet Ryan. We, of course, are Mud Puppets. It's been a few weeks, Ryan.
It's been a while, but we got a wild match to come back here with. 8-man tag, Joel. JP Investments taking on a team of guys who seems a little bit of a hodgepodge of a team, but we'll have to see how they work together.
Yeah, this is, of course, once again from the Creep Benefit Show this past June. As right now, Mark Joka, of course, and Bryan Castle, the world's most huggable wrestler in the ring. Ryan, would you hug him?
I'd hug him. I would hug him. Of course, I'd hug Mark Joka, too, because Mark Joka is a good guy.
All right. Well, he did have some kind comments for you on the most recent episode.
I bet he did, because he recognizes excellence. Excellence recognizes excellence, Joel.
Right. So, yes, we have JP actually in action in this one, alongside Bryce Sullivan, Mark Joka, and Paul Bowser back in better days. Although this was, as we'll see later, part of what started to lead to the breakup of the one-time bit of a super stable JP Investments.
Sure. What a lot of people don't realize, Joel, is that Jonathan Presley, everyone recognizes his excellence as a manager, but he's also a very talented in-ring competitor, and I look forward to seeing him in action here tonight.
I would say talented is stretching it quite a bit. So you see here we have the Great Akuma, Mike Marvel, and sweet Willie Watts in the other corner. Akuma. Presley does not see him, and here comes some of his talent here, putting on headgear. You think he wore headgear in school?
He might have had to. You know, some kids.
I know Bowser
necessary.
did.
Well, Bowser should probably still be wearing it. This is smart, though. You know, we hear a lot about concussions in wrestling and the NFL all over the place now. This is really smart. And, yeah, JP is ready to go here. You can tell. Just look at him.
I hope the ladies in the crowd aren't getting too excited. That's quite a
that's always
hairy,
a danger.
pasty sight. And Akuma throws a kick, and JP bails. Tags in Paul Bowser. You know, Ryan, before I forget, I mentioned earlier, it's been a while since we called a match, a few weeks here. Things have been crazy, and all the barbs we trade. I did want to congratulate you on the birth of your son.
Well, thank you very much. It was a very nice, very great event in our family, and very happy to be back to calling the matches here and taking a little break from the Rugrats.
Akuma getting the advantage on Paul Bowser here. Of course, if anyone's interested, there's a picture of your son in our latest episode that will actually be up this weekend.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, and there's Willie up to his old antics. So if you're interested in seeing Ryan's newborn son, you can see that in our upcoming episode.
He's a handsome chap.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
nice.
Belly to belly suplex there. 1, 2.
Willie Watts, a lot of people, you focus on sort of the mental games that Willie likes to play, the sort of homoeroticism he plays around with, but
whoa.
You sometimes forget that Willie Watts is a tremendously talented wrestler when he gets going in there.
Well, he's tenacious, a lot of heart.
Ooh, ate a foot right in the mush there. All Bowser in there with the bare feet, Joel. Sort of a unique thing. You used to see that more in wrestling, but it's something you don't see a lot of nowadays. Ooh.
Well, yeah, I mean, you open yourself up to additional offense when you're not wearing boots in there. Yes. Mike Marvel tagged in the high flyer. Of course, Mike Marvel, we've seen in recent months, he and Action Jackson's tag team Marvel's Action No More.
Yeah, unfortunate. I think they were a great high-flying young tag team, but as often happens, singles concerns come up and sort of drive guys apart.
Well, we've seen a little bit of the fallout since the breakup, but I don't think we've seen the end of it. And here, Bryce Sullivan in there with Mike Marvel, a huge size disparity. And Marvel is going to go at him in an attempt to suplex him perhaps there, but Bryce Sullivan deftly elbows out of that and shoulder tackle down to the mat.
Bryce Sullivan is just a big, mean, angry dude. I love to see him in there. I love to see him just bulldoze his way through people like he did there with Mike Marvel.
And still has yet to lose a match in MPW.
Yes, very important to keep that in mind. This guy is climbing the rankings very quickly.
There's Marvel up for a suplex and down to the mat.
You see the effects of that as Mike Marvel holding the small of his bat. Bryce Sullivan moving in to deliver more damage. Gonna go for the cover.
Pulls him up off the mat.
Just playing around with him, toying with him, and that's that mean streak, Joel. That's that him liking to mock his opponent.
Not a strategy I say I agree with. Now, a power slam here, coming up. Oh my goodness. He's getting all of it. And Marvel down to the mat. Yeah, well, Bryce Sullivan, especially now, I'm sure some fans know, Eddie Venom, set to retire at the end of the year, but has wrestled his last match in MPW, so the MPW Heavyweight Championship is effectively vacant. Yes. Big Bubba Luscious has announced some partial details for a tournament to crown a new champion. You've got to believe the Path of Destruction, Bryce Sullivan's been on this last year, that his name may come up.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. I mean, Bryce Sullivan is one of the most physically dominating wrestlers we've ever seen in MPW. He just bulldozes guys.
Although on the most recent episode of PWL, which I mentioned earlier, Mark Joka paid you a couple of compliments.
Yes.
Mark threw his own hat in the ring, and Big Bubba Luscious, being the man that he is, immediately thought that was a wonderful idea.
Well, you can say what you want about Mark Joka. Mark Joka's had tremendous success. Former MCWA heavyweight champion. He's a guy who knows what it takes to be a champ, to hold on to a belt.
Well, now, a leg drop there. Mark would take issue. He's not a former MCW. He did announce recently he will no longer be defending it on MPW shows. A decision I actually support. Suplex there on Mike Marvel. Marvel right now needs to make a tag.
Yes, you are correct. He did not lose that title. I'm sorry, Mark.
Now he did lose the PWL television title 2 years ago when he tapped out the gutter, which is something he doesn't like me bringing up.
That's ancient history. Come on, 2 years ago.
According to Mark, it's not even ancient history. It's historical revisionism. He says gutter choked him.
I wouldn't be surprised to find out that's true.
Well, as I told Mark, we do have video evidence to suggest otherwise, but facts be damned. Now Sullivan in the corner, bad place to be, trash talking the whole gang over there. And Bryan Castle's a big boy himself.
Yes, he is.
Marvel rolls out of that one and makes the tag.
And the two big hosses here are gonna go at it. Nice close on.
Everyone piling in the ring now. Presley eats one right in his doughy center.
Oh.
He and Bowser come to head. Sullivan needs some Bryan Castle needs some reinforcements, but perhaps not. He's a one-man wrecking crew in there.
He is taking it to this whole team.
Ducks a punch there. Takes out Presley. Now Bowser. Maybe the numbers game going to get him here. No. Belly to belly and Bowser down. Looks like he may have hit his neck a bit there. That could be it. Joka makes the save.
Things are breaking down here. The referee needs control.
Akuma, very enigmatic star. Elbow into Bowser. A mule kick, nicely done. Tags in Willie Watts. Of course, Willie Watts and Paul Bowser have much history. In more recent months, here we go.
Sweet Willie's version of dropping the straps. He raises the straps.
These two actually in recent months they've become something of strange bedfellows. No pun intended.
No pun intended, of course. Oh, that's the way the wrestling business works. Sometimes your enemy becomes your greatest ally.
Willie on the apron. Akuma with a sleeper hold applied to Big Bryce Sullivan now. Sullivan gets him into the turnbuckle though. Now Bowser putting a shoulder into Mike Marvel's midsection, and this official needs to reestablish who the legal men are here. I believe it's Akuma and Bryce Sullivan. Joka stepping in the ring, and he and Bowser like to hammer on Mike Marvel.
Yeah, this referee has lost all control. There he is scratching his head. He's like he doesn't even know what's going on.
He's confused now. Marvel off the ropes. Bryan Castle in there now, throwing some ham hocks around.
Yes, he is. And Bryan Castle can dish it out with the best of them. Big knee to Joka. Tosses Joka right out of the ring.
Presley none too eager to get in. Now with Marvel and Bowser in the ring, here to have the forum all to themselves. Belly to back suplex there. Marvel down to the mat. Bowser once again hooks him, and this could be it. Bowser says he's going up top. Now Presley jumps in. He's not the legal man. The referee counts the 3.
And Jonathan Presley scores the win. What a great win for JP.
Was he the legal man?
don't think we
I
know
don't
who the legal
think the
men
official
were.
knew what the hell was going on
We're all
there.
kind of continuing outside here.
Very bizarre finish, but you can see, of course, and you'll see Paul Bowser here in a moment. It's been brought up on the PWL since and in social media about JP's selfish ways, stealing the pinfall there. I mean, he's a manager. What is he upstaging his talent for? Well, regardless, folks, hopefully we'll get back here on a schedule of getting you a match every week. As always, we're the Mud Puppets. You can check us out at mudpuppets.com. Right here on YouTube, search the Mud Puppets. Latest sketch, of course, we had Bad Job Interviews Volume 2.
Yes.
But we also welcome, we were mentioned in the Wyandotte patch for the work we did with the Wyandotte JCs back in October. JP Rants here. You can check out our episode Murder Mystery and our behind-the-scenes tour of the Wyandotte JC's Haunted House, Bloodbath on Biddle. Oh, he'll kill you.
Anyone else that gets in the way of JP investments, we got a message for you. And the writing is on the wall.
We'll see you next time, fans.